2024 Celebration of Achievement. On behalf of all members of the Governor's School community, I am honored to extend greetings to you on this special occasion. To our guests, friends, and family, we certainly appreciate your attendance as we recognize the accomplishments of our graduating class. I'd like to extend a special thanks to Tom Dickinson and Landon Baumgard of our music department for presenting the prelude on this evening. Thank you. I would also like to recognize the members of the campus leadership who are listed on the program and taking part in the presentations. If they would please stand and be recognized. Dr. Jennifer Thomas, Dean and Vice President of Arts and Academics. Ms. A.K. Freeland, Chair of Academics and Humanities. Dr. Alan Rossi, Chair of the Creative Writing Department. Ms. Jose Garan, Chair of the Dance Department. Ms. Candace Dickinson, Chair of the Drama Department. Ms. Deidre Hutton, Chair of the Music Department. And Mr. David Gerhardt, Chair of the Visual Arts Department. It is with great pleasure that I congratulate our 24th graduating class on their outstanding artistic and academic achievements that are presented in our celebration of achievement. This event is, no doubt, one of the highlights of our academic year, and one in which we look forward to annually. Graduates, much in the same way that you will remember our commencement exercises on tomorrow, this day will be forever etched into your memory, alongside the most memorable moments of your Governor's School experience. I hope that the pride you feel as you reminisce on these days leads to further development and strengthening of relationships that you initiated over the course of your years with us. Over the years, and under the guidance of committed members of the Govey community in partnership with their families, I've come to know the Governor's School as a model for public education. It is a place where theory meets practice in the most effective way, and the students seated before you that we've come to honor on this evening are proof that this model works. No doubt, we're not perfect, but we are indeed a high-performing artistic and academic enterprise, and by design, very much a representation of some of the greatest young minds in our state who come from many paths to form one unified learning community. We're a small school with a big educational experience, a place where opportunities and challenges come together to transform students and shape lives of those who will ultimately become not only great artists, but the next generation of leaders of our state and our nation. As you listen to the comments from the stage on this evening, I know that you will further realize and appreciate the Governor's School experience and the growth that each of these students has gained because of this very unique and transformational opportunity. To any first-time attendees, please know that this event captures the essence of our goals in developing young artists and young leaders. It demonstrates our commitment to and our success in achieving the core of our institutional mission, delivering an intense pre-professional experience in an environment of artistic and academic excellence, where students from across the state of South Carolina enter, excel, and thrive in a public school environment. As our graduating class hails from 22 counties across our state, they are indeed representative of the diversity of the state of South Carolina. To the parents and extended family members who are with us on this evening, I thank you for allowing us the opportunity to work with your sons and daughters. You've been the best of partners, as only great families can be in making the most of the Govey experience for your students. To the class of 2024, best wishes and best of luck to you. May you continue to grow in the spirit of the Governor's School for the Arts and Humanities as only you can. Congratulations to you all.
very proud of all the work that you guys have done, and it's been just a treasure to be around all of you guys.
It's been a great year. Give yourselves a round of applause. So, as you guys know, we had a senior telethon to raise money for our senior class gift. In total, we raised about $1,800.
That's a lot of money, so we're here to present the senior class gift, and as maybe some of you might know, we all collectively decided with a lot of deliberation and tons of meetings that we decided to upgrade the rec room.
We decided, hopefully we're going to get some things like a gaming system and some new kitchen appliances.
Yes. So, as you guys know, we use the rec room as a very shared space, and a lot of us make tons of memories there. So we just wanted to give the next class an opportunity to make more memories and have some more fun.
Yeah, the rec room's a great area. We've all made so many memories there, I'm sure.
So yeah, thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Anna Catherine Freeland, English teacher and academic and humanities chair. I'd like to take a moment to thank the administration, arts faculty, staff, and my academic colleagues, and most of all you, the students. Congratulations. You've worked hard here, both in your art and your academics. This is not your typical education, as you know. As you emerge from this nest, I am hopeful that this education in the arts, academics, and humanities serves you like a Swiss Army tool in your future. Why the humanities? Some may ask, or what are the humanities? We look at how our arts training applies to life outside the stage, studio, desk, practice room. You have all seen the benefit and applicability of expression, discipline, commitment, sacrifice for your art. That was necessary before you came to us. But you might look so close, in fact, that you may not be immediately aware of the broader benefits beyond. It has changed you, your trajectory, but it's also changed your lens. As you've been learning specificity in your craft, you will also learn to appreciate it in the other arts, and even in your dailiness. You are a scholar. You have practiced writing and thinking critically. You engaged in scientific inquiry. You study truth and fact of history. Art helps you understand yourself better and others. Art explains, comforts, challenges, illuminates. And the humanities gives these questions, this reasoning, interdisciplinary application. Art expands and specifies our vocabulary. It does not give us all of the answers, but it helps us to ask better questions. The humanities asks, to what end? What does it mean for our culture, our neighbors, the world? The humanities ask, what is the truth that is not represented in the facts? In simple terms, the facts may say, a woman walks into a gas station, pays, and leaves. But it is a different thing when I say, a young woman walks in, buys diapers, and pays, and change, and leaves. Or, a woman walks in, buys 3 Coke Zeros, 4 packs of baked Lays, and leaves. There's always more to the story. And who decides what facts become the facts? Humanities ask questions across the disciplines, helping us define our ethics, our values. While we contribute in our strengths, you may have to make choices about when we study what, or when you study what. But you do not have to choose between being an artist and a scholar. You are both. It isn't about finding answers. It is about flourishing. And, as we know, as scholars and artists, sometimes there are contradictions. Today is full of contradictions. You have both grown out of this place and outgrown it, but will forever be here. You may feel light and heavy, sad and excited. Isn't that the way life works? By request from a few seniors, I brought what I believe to be my highest offering as you go. A poem by a poet very special to A.P. Lang, but also special to the world, even if you don't yet know it. Padre Tuma is an award-winning Irish poet, conflict mediator. He mediated the troubles in Ireland. When I found that out, I hoped that he was like 83, but he's not. He's younger than I am. I was like, dang, I gotta get busy. But he's the host of Poetry Unbound. His gentle, inquisitive voice is a mainstay of my classroom, but honestly, my life. I have long admired his work, and thank you to the Governor's School Professional Development Support, I was able to study with him for a week in upstate New York in 2022. His kind, unwavering gaze creates an accessible conversation around poems from all over the world. But he examines them for their beautiful and specific language, yes, but also for the questions they prompt, the truth they add to a story, even contradictions. They help us feel more connected to each other or less alone. The Facts of Life. The Facts of Life by Padre Tuma. That you were born and you will die. That you will sometimes love enough and sometimes not. That you will lie, if only to yourself. That you will get tired. That you will learn most from the situations you did not choose. That there will be some things that move you more than you can say. That you will live, that you must be loved. That you will avoid questions most urgently in need of your attention. That you began as the fusion of a sperm and an egg of two people who were once strangers and may well still be. That life isn't fair. That life is sometimes good and sometimes better than good. That life is often not so good. That life is real, and if you can survive it well, survive it well. With love, with art, and meaning given where meaning is scarce. That you will learn to live with regret. That you will learn to live with respect. That the structures that constrict you may not be permanently constricting. That you will probably be okay. That you must accept change before you die, but you'll die anyway. So you might as well live, and you might as well love. You might as well love. You might as well love. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Alan Rossi. I'm chair of the Creative Writing Department. Thank you, Ken. I want to begin by thanking the school leadership as well. Also the incredible instructors in our Creative Writing Department. Couldn't get through this year without you. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the support. I always say that I find it incredibly difficult to come up with this speech, and so I'll say that again. I find it incredibly difficult to come up with this speech every year. To condense what has happened in the classroom for these senior creative writers over the last 2 years. When these students first entered the program, they had aspirations. They wanted to be a particular kind of writer. Some wanted to write like Raymond Carver or David Sedaris. Some wanted to write only fantasy. Some believed they were absolutely a poet, but not a fiction writer. Or the reverse. Some believed they could write fiction, but poetry was blah. It's not. Over these past 2 years, due to a number of factors, these students have found that their original aspirations changed. They weren't just a fiction writer. They were a poet also. They didn't need to sound like Raymond Carver. They needed to sound like themselves. They didn't have to try to be funny in the way someone else was funny. They had to be funny in the way only they could be funny. Over and over, the same lesson was learned, that their unique voice and way of expressing was the key to unlocking their creativity. Along the way, realists became surrealists. Comedy writers explored the vastness of the cosmos. Those who loved fantasy wrote realism filled with pathos. Those who thought they were poets wrote fiction based in fairy tales. And those who thought they couldn't do poetry or nonfiction found they could. If you look in your program, you'll see the vast number of awards these students have won. High-level awards to go along with some high-level publications as well. This is wonderful. A delightful external validation. But an artist's validation must come from within, because most of the artistic process happens within. So the question is, how did these creative writers do this? How did these writers go within and seemingly write beyond what they believed they should be and believed they were capable of? How have they become the more developed and more mature artists you see before you? I have two answers to that question. One is, they surrendered to new ideas, opened themselves up to experiencing new authors and new ways of being, and allowed themselves to openly explore. This sense of openness, of adaptability, is one of the main things that comes to mind when I think about this class. These students faced real challenges. Some of these challenges had to do with social relationships, interpersonal difficulties with peers. They met these challenges head on and worked through them wonderfully, and I'm incredibly proud of them for this. Some of these challenges had to do with mental health or even physical health, and again, they met these challenges well. Finally, some of these challenges had to do with making art itself. They got stuck with pieces, felt like they needed to abandon a story and begin again, but were afraid to. It's not easy to admit to oneself when something isn't working, but these students learned to be open to failure. They understood when something wasn't working, and they tossed the piece away, began again. And within failure, because they were open to it, they could move on and find out what they really wanted and needed to write. Because of this openness to failure, they found success. You can see that with the awards in your programs. What I hope they now know is that failure is a more important part of the artistic process than success is. Failure tells the writer what they need to work on, what they need to do better in the next piece and the piece after that. If the writer is open to failure, it reveals secrets about the artistic process and oneself. It might even show the writer what they should really be writing about. And these students now know this. So, these creative writers are open. They're open to failure, adaptable to new situations, and new forms and modes of artistic expression. That's the first facet I notice about this class. The second way they've achieved so much, and this is something I've noted in your program if you want to look later, is that these students are visionary. What do I mean by this? These creative writers don't just tell stories. They explore psychologies, they imbue fairy tales with feminism, or they make AI the child of some sad mastermind. They have a vision of what is problematic for people in an often confused culture. They have a vision of what ails society, and they have a vision of what is most difficult about being a human, and they explore these aspects of life and culture in their work. Over the course of these 2 years, these students have learned that art is both entertaining and has an uncanny depth, and they search for that depth in myriad ways. It's true that these students are writers, but they are also musicians, thinkers, movie watchers, critics, observers of their own inner lives and the outward lives of others. They have learned how to incorporate so many of their interests and concerns into writing, giving their work richness and depth. A movie written in screenwriting involved the solar system personified, or in nature writing, science fiction writing, a student wrote about God living on the planet for a day. And this class created the most unique and creative version of our literary magazine, Litmus, that has ever been produced. I hope some of you get to see that. It's beautiful. They couldn't have made these diverse artistic works without being visionaries. It takes a certain stance to the world to be able to create in the ways they've created. And they have developed that stance and vision well over the last 2 years and have been rewarded for it. I've been so honored. Sorry. I've been so honored to work with them every day as they hone their vision. I can't wait to see what they do in the next phase of their lives, because it will take visionaries just like them to help solve the larger problems of the world. So it is my pleasure to honor these students tonight and to get to say, I'm sorry, I got a little teary. This is happy. We're supposed to be happy here. Senior creative writers, please come up to receive your art awards.
Good evening. I'm José Garin, I'm the dance department chair. I would like to begin by thanking the families of our dance students for their support during these last 3 years. Your sacrifices made it possible for your students to join the dance department at the Government School for the Arts and Humanities, where it allowed them to live in our campus very rich and creative environment, to complete their high school, and to provide them with new opportunities to expand their wings, pursuing the comprehensive and rigorous pre-professional dance program. As Gobi dance members, they were also able to make new, long-lasting connections and gather beautiful new memories. Over the years, our students have received many inspiring and challenging opportunities, including the privilege of working with and of being mentored by internationally recognized dance artists visiting the campus. Our senior class is very gifted. They received many accolades as they compete at the International Student Ballet Competition, the Youth America Grand Prix Regionals, and in Grand Jeté, our South Carolina celebration of classical ballet, modern, and contemporary dance. Through Grand Jeté, they also received invitations, acceptances, and scholarships from well-established universities, and for dance company summer and graduate programs from across the country. Our seniors are all beautiful young artists, and they are very intelligent individuals. Some will pursue their career in dance, some will not. The beauty is that they're all moving forward towards a journey that they have chosen to follow for themselves. We are proud of them. Seniors, you are also remarkably inspiring. We're proud of all of you, not only because of your artistic gifts or your dedication and achievements, but also because you're such a kind and caring group of human beings. You are remarkably smart, patient listeners, you respect others and one another, and though you generally are very, very soft-spoken, you certainly are also courageous, frank, and fair. For the past 3 years, you were able to nurture a healthy, safe, and loving sense of community within the dance department and on campus. You moved forward steadily, always supporting one another in good times and hard times, while taking risks always to pursue the development of each and every one of your full potential. You created a community of encouraging and encouragement and uplifting community. Dear seniors class of 24, I could not feel more honored to have had the privilege to get to know you, to learn from you, and to work with you. I thank you. Every year, as you know, I have the great pleasure of gathering some faculty reflections and anecdotes and commentaries and praises about your life in the dance department. So here are some. Miss Irina says, you are quiet, humble in life, but bright and elegant on stage. Wherever you go, whatever you do, let your artistry shine. Miss Miriam, congratulations on graduations. You've pirouetted your way through school, and now it's time to grand jeter into the real world. Remember to keep your toes pointed towards your dream and your tutus full of determination. Miss Adair, what a beautiful class you are. Your unshakable bond has pushed you to succeed further than your expectations. You have worked so hard, and it has been amazing to watch. I will cherish our time in the studio as well as our many chats outside of class. You have all been a joy, and I look forward to connecting in the future. Mr. Shoemaker, this senior class of dancers have been one of the hardest working and consistent I've had the pleasure to work with for my 9 years at Cody. They not only take great joy in one another's success, but they hold each other accountable in a loving and supportive way. A truly impressive group of young artists. Lastly, Miss Elizabeth. Seniors, I love you. I love how you attack our improvisation and modern solo classes this past year. I was especially inspired by the courage and commitment you showed dancing Jennifer Mueller area solo one by one, each bringing your own artistry and expression to the movement. You all embraced the process, and the product was a joy to watch. Dance students class of 2024. You are an inspiration to all of us in the dance department. And I have no doubt that by your grace and love and respect of people, many doors will open for you. I also know that because who you are, you will affect many people along the way. You bring sunshine into people's lives, you uplift their spirit, and you create a better world wherever you go. Thank you for being who you are. I now invite you to come on stage to get your well-deserved art area for it.
all students, families, and Governor School colleagues. I'm Candace Dickinson, and I chair the drama department. I'm given the privilege to speak for a few minutes about this group of drama seniors. The last 2 years have been full, rich with experiences, unexpected opportunities, and difficult challenges. At the end of your junior year, you presented a showcase chock full of each area of the training, and you did it with such abundance, joy, and talent. This past fall, in collaboration with students from the dance department and vocalists from the music department, you presented Boundless, the first ever collaborative musical at the school. Your collective performances in Boundless astounded audiences and the composer, Mary Fishburne, who said she learned so much about what this piece is and about who it's for by seeing our students bring it to life. Then, weeks later, with absolute heart and vigor, you threw yourself into Romeo and Juliet with such fervor and spirit that you made the over 400-year-old language feel fresh, new, and inspired. You took New York City and Chicago by storm and auditioned for the top colleges and universities like it was your job, because it was your job. With much success. Then immediately returned to create a brand new piece of theater in The Last of the Showmen that transformed Sakis Theater into a dilapidated circus and yourselves into vibrant characters who were intricately human or animal or shape-shifting animal-human. Then in the film project, with grace and panache, glowed as rambunctious teenagers on a quest to make their mark in, and this is why we coordinate our senior pranks, and also dramatically and energetically orbited as Planets and Company in Time and Space, both screenplays written by your peers in the creative writing department. That was a lot in 2 years. Each year, after the final event or performance, the drama department faculty holds a special ceremony of sorts. It's a very special and highly anticipated ritual, so I'll not share all the specifics, but at the end, each senior is given a pin to wear on graduation. This year, Mrs. T and I were deciding what symbol the pin should be. We thought about all sorts of things that would represent the journey here and had a good time shopping all the options. An arrow, comedy and tragedy masks. Some were pretty funny. There was a grumpy cat. We did not consider it. We decided on a labyrinth. The labyrinth is symbolic of an individual's journey, a process. We focus on process the entire 2 years. It is sort of our theme. So this seemed the most fitting symbol. And for those of you in my generation, a labyrinth is also symbolic of a 1986 movie directed by Jim Henson, starring Jennifer Connelly and David Bowie. Stay with me here. Connelly's character is a 16-year-old incredibly bratty girl who resents having to stay home to take care of her baby brother while her father and stepmother go out on a date. As she's holding her crying baby brother, well done, she makes a wish that the Goblin King will come and take him away. Enter David Bowie. It gets weirder from there, but she has to go on a quest through a labyrinth in the Goblin King's castle to save her brother. There are many unexpected obstacles and tricks and side quests. Weird movie, cool soundtrack, I recommend it. Seniors, when you entered your junior year, you had the journey laid out before you. It would be 2 years made up of 4 semesters with small and sometimes large pivotal moments or performances on the calendar that lead right up to graduating from 2 years of actor training in a pre-professional setting. On paper, the map looks simple. Not easy, but simple. You likely had preconceived ideas about the path you thought you were going to take, but it wasn't quite a straight shot to get to this moment of achievement. You too had side quests and obstacles, highs and lows that made you stop, question, change direction once or twice. But all of that is part of your journey that was your training. Take a look tomorrow at your pin at graduation. It looks smooth, the trail to the center. If it were representative of your actual journey here, and were there a pin-making company who could make topographical pins, it would be way windier, bumpier perhaps, but cool, like David Bowie cool. Class of 2024, You have a new path ahead of you. And you might think you know how this is going to go. Chances are there is no goblin king, but there will be surprises, and if these past 2 years have taught you anything, it's how to navigate this trip. Each and every one of you is so incredibly unique and talented. There isn't one right or correct way to get to where you are going. The right way to get to where you want to go is going to be the path you blaze that gets you there, not the one you necessarily imagine. Along this path, this new early adulthood path towards acting or business or politics or science, there are some things that you should pack for the journey. Pack some grace and humility. Give some of that grace to yourself as you hit that rough terrain, because no one said it would be smooth. Give others grace as they intersect with your path, because they are on their own path. Don't be the reason they don't get to where they need to go. Pack thick skin for the inevitable treacherous weather, but also sunglasses, because there will absolutely be some gloriously beautiful days. Remember that you were built to withstand the elements. Bring along your sense of humor, because sometimes life will be funny and sometimes you'll need it to survive when a goblin tries to steal your joy. A positive outlook will get you through a lot, but bring your heart and your intellect, your courage, your self-respect, and your wit. Seniors, I happen to know you have possession of all of these things because I've seen you cultivate and grow these much-needed qualities firsthand, which is why I'm not worried about you making it through that labyrinth whatsoever. You have much to celebrate, and I am incredibly proud of each and every one of you. Please come to the stage and receive your cords.
You always know where the music students are. They're always the noisiest ones. Good evening, music students and family members. My name is Deirdre Hutton, and I am the violin instructor and music department chair at the Governor's School. I am thrilled to be here tonight to celebrate you and your accomplishments. I'd like to extend a special thank you to the music faculty who have shared and will share beautiful performances with us this evening. Dr. Lauren Vaughn, Dr. Amanda Montgomery, Dr. Ensei Ekpo, Dr. Landon Baumgart, and Mr. Tom Dickinson. I am a musician, so my medium of communication and expression comes from little black dots on a page rather than words. See? Cue the music. This is perfect. However, as I was pondering what to share with you this evening, a quote that we've heard countless times in our lives jumped out at me. Benjamin Franklin once said, in this world, nothing is certain except death and taxes. Outside of death and taxes, what else is certain in life? I think I know. Change. Change is absolutely certain in life. Growing as a person and as an artist requires experiencing change. Change allows us to explore new ideas, new places, and have different experiences. Change allows for personal growth, helping us understand more about ourselves, our desires, and our limits. It's not always easy. It can be disruptive, challenging, and even uncomfortable at times. Your path to becoming a Govey required change, of school, of address, of friends, of teachers. All of you took that leap of faith to become a member of this beautiful community, where you embrace change every single day through personal growth and self-discovery. The study of music requires that you step out of your comfort zone on a daily basis, confronting your fears and moving towards the vision of the artist you want to become. All of you did that through daily practice, rehearsals, performances both on and off campus, auditions, master classes, participation in competitions, all state, regions, NATs, just to name a few. In the music department, you all experienced change in the form of a new curriculum with exciting classes that pushed some of you outside of your comfort zone. Experiencing such topics as African drumming or movement class for the first time. See some shaking hands. Our department also changed, I saw that. Our department also changed dramatically as we welcomed 3 new full-time faculty, Dr. Nsane Ekpo, Dr. Amanda Montgomery, and Dr. Lauren Vaughn this year. We all collectively felt the tragic loss of our long-serving cello instructor, Mr. Robert O'Brien. I am proud of the way we moved through these experiences collectively as a community. I would like to share a contribution from Dr. Patria Varnak, our oboe and Alexander technique instructor, who will be retiring after 20 years of teaching at the Governor's School. From Dr. Varnak, thank you. Your contributions to our school have been countless. You will go out into this world as different people for having made music a part of your lives. The skills and the discipline you have learned by being a musician will carry with you in everything that you do, whether it's in the field of music or not. Above all, you have shown resilience and courage in the face of challenges and changes that are a normal part of life and learning. You were flexible when we asked for flexibility. You were open-minded when we asked you to try new things. And you have proven your dedication and sense of responsibility to follow through with the challenges put before you. I wish you all a wonderful future filled with the joy of music and poise in all that you do. Don't forget your tip. Soon you will embark upon another period of change by spreading your wings and leaving the Governor's School. Some of you will be going to college, some have other plans. You've learned that change is not something to be feared, but to be celebrated. It is a testament to your resilience, adaptability, and capacity for growth. Embrace the change that lies ahead, and you will be rewarded a full life. As we celebrate your graduation tomorrow, I invite you to aspire to be passionate advocates for our school and for the music department. Be our supporters, our recruiters, and our advocates. Spread the word about this place. Keep in touch so we can always cheer you on. Come back to visit. No matter where you go, you will always be a part of our Govey family. It is now my privilege to present with you your arts course. Please come forward in 2 groups. First, strings and vocal students, followed by the wind, brass, and piano students.
Hey y'all. I'm David Gerhard, Visual Arts Department Chair and Printmaking and Drawing Teacher. I have 2 jokes in here, so make sure to laugh when they happen. That wasn't one of them. Okay, this gets better. Senior visual artists, you have achieved kiln loads of success in your time at the governor's school. Y'all are fire. That was the joke, because you have not combusted yet. Your awards are noteworthy and should be celebrated. I also want to acknowledge the tremendous effort that you have taken to make your experience what it was. That effort, that hard work, was coupled with a deep connection
to what you did and who you were with. Let's not take that for granted. Graduating class, let's also acknowledge your loved ones, your friends, your teachers, all of the staff, and the administration. We've all worked so hard to help you reach this achievement of graduating from the governor's school. And it is your success, because you know who makes your situation what it is? You do. I have witnessed you self-advocate when you needed the space and supplies to work on weekends. I have witnessed you push yourself to your edge, leading up to juries again and again and again. I have witnessed you share deep wisdom when we sat and drew in the park or in casual conversations in the courtyard. You have made your 2 years as an artist a noteworthy time. Growth, hard work, and wisdom are achievements. Sometimes you shared wisdom beyond your years, but also you are a teenager who experienced new things with excitement and sometimes with trepidation. Your class has experienced a series of firsts. You have been here 2 years, so you have experienced the first year of teaching specific classes for Mr. Inks, Ms. Swank, Mr. Coley, Mr. Morton, and the Prince of Printmaking. That's me. Maybe you experienced your first time using a torch, exporting an animation, playing D&D, signing in, signing out. Maybe you experienced maybe you experienced stress in a new way for the first time. And maybe you experienced feeling really proud of yourself for the first time. Or feeling really challenged for the first time. Or maybe you experienced having friends for the first time who really are more like siblings or cousins or whatever. You're also experiencing some lasts. You experienced the last year of teaching at the governor's school for Miss Carter and Miss Tucker before they retired. You had your last jury treat from MB, last studio cleanup, last missed midday check, last art history class, last late night studio session, last walk downtown, last time you get to be together, last long-haired Yanko. Your firsts and lasts should be noted and celebrated as they are interwoven between your achievements. Those moments are galvanized from 2 years. Memories might last forever for you, but many moments will likely fade away sooner than you realize. Be grateful for the achievements you've made socially, artistically, professionally, and personally. Visual artists, you are extremely driven. So driven, in fact, that you break buses. Y'all will always remember the smoking bus breakdown punctuated by harmonica tunes and dancing on the side of the highway. And portfolio day. And museum trips and other excursions into the park and allegedly beyond. You are a group who gained new perspectives in your worldview. A few faculty tried to aid this literally with handstands, headstands, crow pose, and more perspective-shifting yoga poses, whether you asked for it or not. You were taught how to breathe every week with me. And then maybe found that it was actually helpful, and it helped you chill out a little bit sometimes. And maybe you forgot to do it sometimes too. And that's okay, because y'all are really human. That humanity is what makes us all special. We aren't all the same, and we celebrated that together. It's an important lesson for us artists who hone our craft for hours and hours to embrace the flaws. Humans are flawed. You are flawed. I am flawed. We are frog. That was my second joke. Just think. It's your last time having to hear really bad jokes from me. But you might find that you miss it because you are who you are and I am who I am, and I care about you because you are you, and that's enough. Graduating class, you were true to yourselves. It was so inspiring that you helped me find myself too. I found myself in the hallway, I found myself in the staircase, I found myself in the painting studio, on the back of the phone case, in a box of Band-Aids. I found myself every time I found that Where's Waldo image that you put my face on. And I love you for that. Met God, it's Tucker. Goated. She really won the Hunger Games in almost every scenario. You are a joy to be with, and I will really miss you. I respect the creativity and hard work you brought. It led to a deep connection with your work, your peers, your faculty and staff, and with me. You are bound for full lives, and I look forward to hearing about your future accomplishments, whether personal or professional. Take care and congratulations. Now I'd like to invite us up in two groups. The first group will be if you had a Monday concentration, and the second group is if you had a Wednesday concentration. Come on.
Wow. Look at you. Look at who you're sitting with. You will rarely be among this kind of company again. Check out who's up here on this stage. Let's hear it for them and for their colleagues spread all through the audience. and difficult work of care, concern, and whole child support that got you here tonight. So whether you were in the residence hall or a studio or the cafeteria or the courtyard or downtown, every minute that you were here, you were within reach of a caring adult who has been trained in a very specific area of expertise. And you are what we are all about. You, the class of 2024. All 109 of you. In all your glory and mess and power and struggle. This year has been long. And at times it has seemed to just fly right out from under us, right? At least to me and to the people I get to talk to on a daily basis, it has seemed both endless and fleeting. We've all had highs and lows. We've had some serious opportunities to learn patience. We've had some really intense and unexpected losses. When you live and work together, you grieve together too. Among the stages of grief, and pretty early on, sits anger. So we've had to apologize sometimes and forgive on more than one occasion. Students, from my vantage point, which is farther away than my colleagues you've heard from tonight, I have seen you soar. Literally and figuratively. You dancers, literally. And there is nothing quite like it. So I want to celebrate this type of connection, this intensity that comes from a shared commitment to doing hard things really well. It's a rare and beautiful thing to work with other people who truly are doing their best and getting better every day. Not better than anyone else, but better than they were yesterday. It requires a vulnerability and an open-heartedness to work this way. We should celebrate those qualities as much as the more tangible accomplishments that they can lead to. I urge you to read this program carefully because it's more than just an order of the events of the evening. It is an amazing compilation of the things that this graduating class has done across the academics, across their art departments, some of them across multiple art departments. Spend some time with that book. I want to leave you with two terms. One is from the East and one is from the West. And they kept floating into view as I worked with and watched the class of 2024 in action. The first one is sprezzatura. It's a term from the Italian Renaissance. It is the art of making the difficult look easy. You might find it defined as effortless grace, that's not right, or even nonchalance. Nope. It's an apparent ease that comes from hours and days and weeks of effort. It's practice and determination and repetition that becomes muscle memory or fluency or fluidity, the right word in the right order at last. It takes time and improved skill to make it look easy and astonishingly beautiful. So in the moment, your audience or your reader or your viewer is not thinking about how you're doing it. They're lost in wonder at what you're doing. Sprezzatura. The class, it's a noun, the class of 2024 displays sprezzatura on a daily basis. Wabi-sabi is a Japanese term. It derives from an aesthetic philosophy that is tied to the tea ceremony of 15th century Japan. With a humility and simplicity, wabi-sabi is an aesthetic that finds beauty in things that are imperfect, impermanent, incomplete.
It points us towards an awareness of the transient nature of earthly things. Things are passing, changing, fleeting. And we take pleasure in the things that bear the mark of this impermanence. We don't make wabi-sabi, we see it as it naturally occurs. The imperfect nature of things is accepted and celebrated. In fact, wabi-sabi lets us move beyond concepts of perfect and imperfect. The crack is part of the beauty of the vase. The wooden table might be left with its grain and knots. A scar is a marker of wounds that heal but don't disappear. The broken dance floor at the prom was perfect because its perfection was your moves could not be held by the human built structure. Wabi-sabi is an aesthetic of the class of 2024. I was really worried this speech would run long. I'm the last one on a big night, and there are dinner reservations at stake. So I tried to decide which one of these would win out for airtime. Or maybe I should coin a new phrase. Spritzasabi? Wabitura? No. That would be wrong. Of course, the answer, and I learned this from the class of 24, the answer is to choose the both and over the either or. There's no binary choice necessary. It's fluid and there's a spectrum. You were at times sprezzatura and sometimes you gave wabi-sabi. And always you were exceptional. Congratulations.
Thank you.